Hey y'all, on today's adventure, we just got back from the Eastern Shores Island, and on the Assateague Beach, I found a jellyfish. So, it was clear with a whole bunch of patterns, but you won't be able to see those in my resin. So I put blue dye on it, blue food coloring dye. And I'm just going to try to put UV resin on it and see if I can make it into, I don't know, a paperweight or something. I guess we'll find out. I don't know how it's going to turn out because I've never tried it before. Definitely never tried it with a jellyfish. I didn't even know you could get jellyfish tops. But yeah, so we're going to try it and see how it goes. So first, you gotta make sure every little debris is out of the mold, or else it'll stick all to it. And then we're just gonna line the bottom first with the UV resin. And if y'all use this UV resin stuff, beware, it is super sticky. Like, I probably should be wearing gloves, but I don't have any right now. Okay. So now we're just gonna line the bottom. And you're gonna get a lot of bubbles if y'all are trying this. You need a torch or something like that to get, or a heat gun or something like that to get the bubbles out, but I don't have that either. So fingers crossed that I don't have a bunch of bubbles. Okay. And can y'all see, I just lined the bottom. I didn't put a bunch in there. And then I'm going to take out my jellyfish. It feels so slimy and odd, but it's pretty fucking cool. And you can see all those little shapes. He had a lot more patterns and stuff on them when I first found them. Okay, so I'm going to place them right here in the middle. Let me wipe my hands off. And then I'm just going to add another layer. Oh, the food coloring's making dots everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to go put this in the UV dryer and see if that helps and works or not. And I might need to add more glue. You can see when it cured, it made the food coloring bubble out for some reason. So I'm just going to try to take a paper towel and dab it off. I might end up spreading it some, but we'll see. I really should wear gloves. My fingers are so blue. So this is working out pretty well. I'm just touching it lightly with the paper towel and it's absorbing it pretty good. I'm definitely going to have to do another layer of resin though. Okay. Try to get that bubble out. Okay, I'm going to do another layer of resin, and then I'm going to put it to cure again. You see, it worked out pretty good. Oops. I think what happened is when you put something heavy in the resin, it ends up floating upwards. So unless you cure it and do resin, then cure it and do resin, and do that in a layers, then it just floats right up. So live and learn. I forgot that part. And live and learn with gloves. So I'm just doing another layer. And you see now the jellyfish isn't rising up though, he's staying down since it's already cured and attached. Oops, and I got some pretty big bubbles right there. So I'm just going to try to pop these bubbles lightly. You see the bubble? Sometimes you can't actually pop the bubbles, but you can move them to the edge and then lift them out. So that's all I'm doing now, just moving it, moving it. Okay. And there's one more that I don't want. The other ones look cool. Looks like it's part of the water. Looks like a natural thing. Okay. So I'm going to go cure this and be right back. It worked really well. So, I found 2 mushroom tops. And don't worry, they're already dead. I didn't hurt them. And I tried to put them in the UV resin, and the moisture from them actually opened it and caused the resin, which forms like plastic, to split. See the little broken parts everywhere? That's from the moisture pushing it out. So with the jellyfish, I'm going to try to make it thicker, because this one isn't very thick. I'm going to try to make it thicker so it doesn't do the same thing. So we'll put another layer, and maybe another layer, just to be sure. Nope. I see a speck of dirt. Gotta get that off. Okay. So let's do another layer. And again, I'm sure there's a better way to do this. I just haven't learned it yet. Okay. That looks pretty good. Looks pretty full. Gosh, the bottom gets so hot from the UV light, so y'all be careful. I was burning my fingers touching it. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna cure this and see what happens. So, just finished curing it again. And look, I have a bubble trapped under there for some reason. I've never had that happen before. That's pretty fucking cool. I put another layer on it, and it's super hot, so we gotta wait. If you take it out when it's still hot, then it'll leave like fingerprint marks everywhere. So let the bottom of your molds cool, and then you peel it out. So we're just gonna set this down and wait. And while we're waiting, oh look, we made some beautiful tie-dye accidentally. Hey, so it's finally finished drying. It's cool now. So since it's cool to the touch and cool to the touch on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and try to take it out. We still have our nice little bubble, so hopefully that stays. And you know, I'm not even 100% if this is a jellyfish part or not. Like I said, we were on the eastern shores and it washed up on the beach. So if someone else knows, y'all are welcome to tell me. I have no idea. I just assumed it was a jellyfish. But yeah, so let's take it out and find out what it looks like. So you just need to go through and pop the edges, and you see how it's coming up? Then pop the edge, and pop the edge. Uh-oh. You see we're having blue leak everywhere. So that means that I didn't do it deep enough on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out still, but I'm going to have to make the bottom deeper. Oh yeah, it's leaking blue everywhere. I'm going to go ahead and let it drain some. Oh, I'm going to flip it before I lose all my blue though. So, besides that one part, it looks pretty cool. Let me set this down. I'm going to try, I guess I'm going to try pouring some blue back in it. Fingers crossed. Okay. We got some blue back in it. And there's some more blue. And you see how it's squishy? That's because I didn't do it deep enough. So I'm going to push more blue in there. And then we're going to wipe it up. I got more blue in here too. So I'm going to pour a little bit more blue back in there. Okay. I'm going to look like a Smurf after this. Okay. So I'm going to try to clean it up some. And you see the way there's all that nasty looking stuff on the bottom? It's because apparently I didn't let it dry long enough. Okay, I'm going to wipe the edges. I'm going to try to wipe this up some too. So now I'm going to drop it back in there. Oops, didn't get all the blue off. So I'm going to drop it back in there and try it again. But since it's got all this stuff on it, and I've got to put another layer on it, since it's got all these like fingerprint looking things all over it, I got to put another layer on it. It's probably going to look like that on the inside too, which really isn't ideal, but I've never done this before, so I don't really know how else to fix it. Okay, so let's push it back down in there. Make sure it's tight in there. So I'm going to do another layer. By doing this though, I might lose all that cool bubble that was floating around, so that sucks. So it's not sealing up the hole at all. It's still a big hole there. So I put glue on top of it and the hole's still there. It's just, the glue is just going into the hole. I wonder if I could put a rock or a shell or something on it. I just stuffed a rock in there and we'll see if that works. So it looks like, oh, fuck. Sorry, my dog went on the table. So it looks like it did work to seal the hole, and I still have my cool little floaty bubble things. So I'm going to put another layer over it because you can still see that the rock is poking out. Doing this takes a lot of glue too, by the way. And glue and all is not the cheapest, so that kind of blows. But again, once you get better at it and learn better at it, I guess you'll end up using less glue. This is one of the things that take time. And I can see some pretty big bubbles in here, so I'm going to go ahead and pop those. So it looks like my rock's covered. So I'm gonna go cure it again, and hopefully we'll be done. Ta-da! So it looked like it worked. My rock isn't showing anymore, and the hole obviously isn't there since I put the rock in it. Jellyfish looks good. I still have my bubbles floating around. So it's still cooling, but the bottom's cool, or the bottom's warm. So I'm gonna let it set a little bit longer before I pop it out and we can see the end results. But I mean, so far this wasn't bad. I used one silicone mold, one thing of glue. This was like $13. This was like $6. And then I used blue food coloring, and it's been about an hour. So that's not bad. Especially for the first time. I mean, imagine if you're better at this, it'll take you less time. But if you're a perfectionist and want to get all the bubbles out, of course it's going to take longer. All these little bubbles. Yeah. But hey, for my first time, I'm pretty fucking proud. This is awesome. Okay, so then remember, you gotta pop the corner. Okay, so you can see me. You gotta pop one corner, pop the other corner. Oh, pop the next one, and then you just kind of pull it out. So when it's not dry all the way, avoid touching the tops because it will leave fingerprints. Wow. This is really fucking cool. Can y'all see that? This came out awesome. So I will definitely be making more of these. Oh, and you see how the edges are? So you just take razor blades and just cut it off, and then like sandpaper and just file it down. It's super easy to do, super quick. But that just gives it like a nice finish. Cool. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'd love to see y'all's when y'all start playing with UV resin.